we are no longer kusaka. Cement, imetayimbwa, steel bars. Tea is processed both for local consumption and for export. Textiles, Nitil and others like fine spinners. Although I don't know why Ugandans are still buying second-hand clothes. Emivumba, I don't know why they should be buying products of Nitil and fine spinners, because it's a lot of money which you are wasting. Using our cotton, batteries, our elder Mrwana started producing batteries long ago from the beginning, recycling, plastics, those are plenty. Milk and milk products. These people of agriculture should come one day and tell you how that sector is now totally vertically integrated, from the kulunda, from the cow, to the processing, to the byproducts even. It has moved very well. Maize, you can imagine we used to get kaunga from Kenya. This packed kaunga was coming from Kenya. But now we've got a lot of maize, but also animal feeds from maize. But we need to do more of that. And to get starch, I think some of the companies are beginning to get starch. Sugar now we have got surplus sugar, but also getting ethanol, which is like petrol from sugar, and also getting electricity. You can imagine a chikajo. The chikajo, the sugar cane, gives you sugar, gives you ethanol, petrol, but also ebikamuro. Ebikamuro gives you electricity. Rubber tires. I visited a factory in Mkono which is making rubber tires. Rubber tires of motorcycles, I think even of cars, but using rubber, partly from Uganda, but also from Congo. Clay and ceramics from clay. This is Kapeka now. Commercial explosives. These are being made by NEC, and they were taking a lot of money. $40 million. Commercial explosives for quarrying, for quarries, for blowing up rocks. They were being imported. They are now being made here. A gold refinery. In fact, I hear gold refineries are like 6. It's not only one. That's what I hear. Gold refineries. The one I know is the one over in Entebbe, but I hear there are others where gold is purified completely. Cables for electricity. Marble. Plywood. There are many factories of plywood. Many factories of plywood from wood. Industrial sugar. We are now producing industrial sugar, not only the other sugar for drinking. Fish factories. At one time we had more than 20 fish factories. And so on. So you can get the list. So we have really moved. Instead of just the other 3 C's and 3 T's, now we have got so many. You have to add many letters of the alphabet. But we still need to do more. Like for instance, now we have moved, not only processing here, but we have gone into making cars, automobiles of different types, vaccines, making vaccines, pharmaceuticals, medicine, diagnostics, sanitizers. When sanitizers came, when they became necessary for corona, abafumba waragi batuyamba nnyo. The waragi brewers helped us because there was already a lot of waragi. So we just needed to add on more distillation to get to 70%, which is the sanitizer. So we are now big players of the sanitizers. I think the Minister of Industry can come one day and give you the details. Leather, I am about to open for you a factory for leather processing, so that our children who are making shoes don't have to kusaka leather from Kenya or from China. So we are moving on those. Now, when I'm here, I would ask one of our warriors, Katabazi, if he's here. He's one of our brothers from Karagwe, but he has made Uganda his home. So Katabazi nonda gamba, Urinyambo, nonda gambo, Uruzungu, nonda gamba.
Your Excellency, sir.
You tell these people what you are doing.
Yes.
The audience.
Yes. Your Excellency, sir, honorable ministers, all of my dear comrades, ladies and gentlemen.
You can remove the mask so that they hear you well.
My name is Metu Katabazi, and I'm the director of our company called Metu Jongtongo Basi Industries, based at Namamve. And this our industry of bus fabrication was established in 2018. And the reason why it was established, because industry is established to serve mankind. I looked at the situation of Uganda, where from the 1960s, Uganda was
those are the buses of Katabazi. Show them.
From the 1960s, Uganda was importing complete bus units from a neighboring country in East Africa. And we continue to import even today, even though I have a factory in Namamve. So I established this factory in order to fabricate buses for our country, so that at least Uganda we are self-sufficient in bus manufacturing, and possibly also for neighboring countries. So when I started fabricating these buses with my daughter, who is here, Engineer Doreen is seated behind here, I told my daughter that let us fabricate our bus. Even if it is a bad bus, it is our bus. And we shall continue improving on it every time. We started in 2018, and 2019, His Excellency the President opened our factory in Namamve. I am glad to say that by now we are fabricating buses to international standards. And to prove that, one time I brought buses which I fabricate for the Tata Corporation. They bring me chassis and I fabricate buses for them. and they accept this is the standard equivalent to what they do in India. Now, when we fabricate these buses, our input is 50%. Value addition, our value addition is 50%. And our culture in our manufacturing is continuous improvement. As I said, Your Excellency, sir, until now, although 2019, Your Excellency, you banned the importation of complete buses from outside Uganda. And you did this in order to support our industry. But we have been getting very few orders from government. Because as government policy, we thought government should be the first to support our industry.
We shall.
But all the same, let me take this opportunity to thank a few government departments which are supporting us, which are supporting Bubu, like the Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Vyabasheja, and his colleagues. They buy buses and trucks from us. We fabricate their buses, their trucks. The National Medical Store, I think we have fabricated 3 buses for them. The Minister of Health, we have fabricated a bus for them. The Uganda Virus Research, we have fabricated a bus for them. And also, we have fabricated the buses for private transporters, such as the Perfect Coach, which go to Rukungiri, the Tausi bus, which go to Bushenyi, the Larem bus, which go to Guru, and the others. Some people from Bukova, my home, and Mwanza, sometimes they bring me chassis here. I build the buses for them. So they bring chassis, we put value addition, we get some money, and they take their bus. Sometimes they can buy chassis from Nairobi, because Bukova is near Kampala. They prefer their bus built in Kampala. We build in Kampala, we take it to Bukova. So that's how we are moving.
Thank you very much. So now all the government departments will have to buy from either Katawazi or from NEC. If it was not being implemented, it will be implemented. Mhara waitu nonda kugamba gamba bakurire ukuri mukazi w'emanzi. Iho wakananga akashankara.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Capture that young girl.
I am Engineer Doreen Akole Birungi from Metu Zongtong Bus Industries. And as Your Excellency, you have reiterated the need for electrical vehicles. I would like everyone here present and the country at large to know that regardless of how we propel the vehicle, whether it is by internal combustion engines or electric battery vehicles, Metu Zongtong Bus Industries is very capable of adding value to these vehicles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your
So
Excellency.
those buses, you put those buses again and they see them, put them again. The pictures. The pictures. Ah, there you are. Put them, okay. So now that is now no more Kusaka for the buses. How about other vehicles? Engineer Doreen, because there will be the question of the other vehicles, the lorries, the what?
Your Excellency, sir, this is why we expanded to Kasese In Kasese, where we have enough area, we intend to do 3 categories of vehicles. The light vehicles, that is the car, the pickup. Then the medium vehicles, the tippers. And then the heavy trucks. So in Kasese, we shall be involved in light engineering, medium engineering, and heavy engineering.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So, this is how we are moving. Now, as I told you last time, we are going to move on value addition of all these other crops like coffee. I was here with the people last time, they were telling you that we are now earning $800 million from coffee, the biggest in Africa. But with value addition, we can go to billions. We can add much more. I think somebody was talking of, they can give you the figure. Somebody was talking of 13 billion or 10 billion, or whatever, but more, much more than what we are earning now. In Kirembe, we are going to make sure we have a tin refinery, a copper refinery. The other day, I was discussing with a group to build a tin refinery in the Ntungamo area. We are going to build a steel factory in Kabare using hydrogen instead of coal. We have already built oxygen plants during this corona. We built oxygen plants. The other day in Nakasongora, I opened an army, a neck factory for nitrogen, making, and also for oxygen. We have got factories for making mobile phones, laptops, electricity meters, water meters. The other day I was in Entebbe, Army SFC, making cement blocks, including pavers. We have got a plan to build a paper industry. I want to capture my area there, Nankabara's area, the area of Singo, those hills which are bare. I was talking with the groups in Buyikwe, some Indian groups there, who want to produce paper using bamboo, emigano. And I was thinking of that area of Singo, those hills. So, this is the plan from the beginning of NRM of restoring the enclave economy of the three Ts, expanding it, transforming it, and building a new economy, an economy of liberation, not an economy of colonial dependency. Now, when this problem comes in, you can see how correct we were. Now we are crying because of 3 or 4 items which are coming from outside. Fuel, fertilizers, palm oil, and wheat. What would have happened if we were still also importing beer and importing soda and importing cement and importing mtayimbwa and importing milk? What would have happened? How would we have managed? We are now crying just because of these items of mainly fuel, palm oil, fertilizer, and wheat. So the question is, what would have happened? Now, if people listen to the NRM, we shall quickly cover this. Because for palm oil, we have already scaled up. The other time I showed you what's happening in Maruzi. If you have those pictures, show them. The Maruzi, the palm oil there, which is being grown there. If you have it, show it when you get it. Fertilizer, we have our Sukuru project here. It has delayed, but it will be done because we have got a big deposit of phosphates there. That is Maruzi now. That is palm oil using irrigation in Maruzi. And we are going to do the same in Sango Bay, big project, and in Buvuma. So therefore, when we had this problem, you remember the debate was, there was an opinion that subsidize the petrol from outside and cancel, remove taxes. Now, that one we said, no, this is not wise. Get me my spectacles. We said, you people, this is not wise. Subsidize Okusaka. Because that's what people were saying, that we subsidize Okusaka. Nti bana bange, akasenta akatono akaliwo, akawaka, kakano, mweyongere musake. Nzo wantungamo, sibwente bwendowooza. Fe waffe entungamo, ekyaffe kuzimba. So the question is, what do we do? Do we intensify dependency, tweyongere okusaka, or do we disengage? Akasenta akaliwo. Do we use it to disengage and be free of okusaka, or do we use it to intensify and bleed ourselves white, finish okwemara mo musai mbutusaka? Now, secondly, when you say we remove the taxes, that means, enguto ziri wano banange, the money we have here that is funded by the money of taxes, which people say we should remove. And that means we forget about the road. The road we're about to do, we stop it, we put the money in subsidizing petrol, for send more money to the Arabs. Our roads should go to Ziriwano. Karenga Bira, that is in Karamoja, Nkenda Bugoye, Kasese, Mubuku Mariba, Kampala Mukono, that section, you know, has been spoiled. Zana Kajansi, Bwai Sekawempe Matuga, Busunju Chiboga Hoima, Nankabirangola Munange. Recently tugenda kuzija ku luguudo luno tuziteeke ku Kusaka. Ishanyu Wizweri Banda, Nebi Arui, Karuma Pakwach, Nebi Arua, Matuga Semuto Kapeka, Masaka, Kyotera, Mutukula, Kampala Northern Bypass, Mbaralishaka, Kasese, Kirembe, Migera, Kafu, Kigumba, Chikorongo, Mpondwe, Mubende, Kyejegwa, Kyenjojo, Kampala, Gayaza, Karagi, Mukono, Jinja, Maraba, Busia, Jinja, Ntunga, Mokagamba, Rukungiri, Kafu, Masindi, Kabale, Kisoro. Some of these roads it is to repair, because some of them are already there. Busega, Mitiana, Kampala, Masaka, Mbarara, Ntunga, Mukabale, Katuna, Kampala, Ruwero, Kafu, Kigumba, Gulu, and so on and so on. And all these roads are here. They are all here. Some of them are new ones, totally new ones. Ishaka, Katunguru, Nabumari, Butareja, Namutumba. This is a new road which people have been demanding in that area. Jinja, Mbulamuti, Kamuli, this is a very important road. Kamulubukungu, Moroto, Kotido, Kisoro, Nkuringo, Rubuguri, Muko, Buzubwera, Nyakambu, Nsika, Nyakashaka, Nyakabirizi, with the Spat, Kabohe, Kisubi, Nakauka, Natete, Kasanji, Mpigi, Mbale, Nkokonjeru, Puranga, Choribur, Luku, Karanga, Mulabana, Kanoni, Misinji, Mitiana, Pajure, Pader, Kotido, Kabong, Kotido, Abim, Aloy, Lira, Kayunga, Bade, Galilaya, Dokoro, Ochero, Namasare, Kashoka, Shonji, Rumba, Tororo, Nagongera, Busorwe, Iganga, Bulopa, Kamuli, New Katunguru Bridge, access roads, Fort Potro, Kijura, Charsozi, Katoke, Ntusiri, Antonde, Misindi, Kavimbiri, Zerowe, Wobulenzi, Kapeka, Butarangwa, Kapeka, Kituma, Kanyantarogo, Utogota, Buhoma, Kanungu, Rugeyo, Nyakishenyi, Kisizi, Muhanga, Rugazi, Buyukwe, Kiyindi, Manibe, Ure, Matugawa, Kiso, Buloba, Nsangi, New Sezuba Bridge, Serere, Solotu, Serere, Mpingire, Mugarama, Komi, Ngora, Brooks Corner, Serere, Kagwara, Mianzi, Bukuya, Kiboga. Now, I have not finished the list. The taxes we are talking about are to do these roads. Not only the roads, I'm talking about the roads, but there are the schools, the health centers, the what? Now, we stop these projects, the money should be put in subsidizing imports of fuel, and I think also palm oil, and so that we intensify dependency, we drain ourselves. This is a big mistake. So that's why the long-term answer is clear. Of the four big imported problems, fertilizer, we shall make our own fertilizer. We shall buy what is there now, but we shall make ours from Sukuru and from potassium Kasese, and eventually although for fertilizer, one could think even of subsidy, because it goes into production. That one actually somebody could even think, or even when it is imported. First, there is no tax on it. There is no tax on fertilizer. But even subsidizing, one could think about. In fact, we are already thinking about it. We are already thinking about it for fertilizer. But for fuel, for palm oil, the answer is growing our own. Wheat, I hear the price is coming down because of the diplomacy. And I don't know whether Uganda can grow wheat. Me, I've never bothered with wheat. They were growing it in Kapchorwa, but the area was small. But for wheat, I wouldn't really lose sleep because there are alternatives, much better alternatives. Cassava, much better. Akalo, which I take, that's why you see how I am 70. I'm going to be 78. You see how, if you bring football here, we will see what will happen. So the real problem is fuel. It is the fuel. And the answer for it is to go to the electric vehicles, number one. And electric pikipikis. And secondly, to use the railway, where the railway can be quickly repaired. So before I proceed, there are people who are making pikipiki, solar power, electric pikipikis. Are they here? Okay. You say something. Put your microphone on.
Your Excellency, sir, honorable ministers present.
Remove the mask so that we can hear you.
Okay. Your Excellency, sir, honorable ministers present, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Professor Emeka Akezua. I am the Vice Chancellor of the International University of East Africa in Kansanga, Kampala. And I'm here with my colleague, Mr. Alwi Hassan. I am a scientist, an engineer by training, and I am happy to present to you the electric motorcycle, the IUEA electric motorcycle that was designed and developed at IUEA with partners. And our whole philosophy about this is to produce in Uganda, to develop products, solutions for transportation in Uganda using mobile, based on mobility, using clean energy, electric energy. So we have, Your Excellency, created the e-motorcycle to enable us to help create jobs here in Uganda, develop capacity, the talent to build technological solutions in the area of transportation and many other areas. So the electric piki-piki that we have created is on the roads in Kampala. We are piloting those. And we have generated a lot of research that shows that these motorcycles are very viable. We can build them here in Uganda using local talent. We can build them with our partners. And we have showed that we will be able to employ a lot of people to build these here. What we have done, Your Excellency, is up to this point, we have put aside 3 acres of land where we will be doing the production of the motorcycle, the parts, and the assembly of these e-motorcycles. Of course, the technology we have in terms of electric solutions can be applicable to electric tractors, electric boats, and bicycles. Our whole idea is to create this solution here in Uganda and, of course, sell in Uganda. So we buy the philosophy of build in Uganda and buy Ugandan. And of course, Your Excellency, we can also export this to other countries and use it to do income generation. for the country. We are very confident that we can employ a lot of people and we can generate a lot of money. We have about 50 prototypes. Those prototypes we have piloted for a while now, Your Excellency, and they've yielded very good results. Based on this 50, we've been able to hire people, researchers, who are working on this motorcycle, about 40 border riders who are piloting it on the streets of Uganda, Kampala here, and also assemblers and data center experts. So this solution, Your Excellency, will help us to bring down the price of petrol and also help with environmental pollution. We intend that we will be doing the integrated and self-sustaining type of development that you have spoken about, Your Excellency, point 5. And what that means is it's self-sustaining because we intend to build over 60% of these electric motorcycles using solutions that are based here in Uganda, because the idea is to not import what we want. So we do subscribe in this economy of liberation, not economy of dependency, even in the areas of technology, specifically in the areas of technology. This will help a lot because the talent will be Ugandan. The product will be 60 to 80% Ugandan within a short period of time. We are looking for support to help us to move it from...
We shall support you. Now,
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The question is, first of all, you would use clean energy.
Yes, sir.
But how operational costs, how much lower would they be compared to the ones of petrol?
It will be more than 50% cost effective because on a single charge we have cheaper. Yes, Your Excellency. If we look at the fossil fuel-based motorcycle, say for example we take 70 kilometers, 70 kilometers will be about 7 liters of petrol, and at the current rate that would be about 45,500 Ugandan shillings. Now, for the electric motorcycle, the highest cost, worst case scenario, will be 6,000 shillings, because on one charge that will take the rider for 7 kilometers, that will be 3 units of yaka at probably 1,000 Ugandan shillings per yaka. So in terms of fuel, it's significantly more than 60% cheaper on the electric.
7 kilometers with the petrol.
Oh, 17, I'm sorry, Your Excellency. Yes.
Is how much? You said you used 7 kilometers.
70 kilometers.
17?
No, 70 kilometers.
70?
Yes, Your Excellency.
For fuel, you would use how much? For petrol, you would use how much?
2 liters. Okay. For petrol, you will use 2 liters. 2 liters.
For 70 kilometers?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And it will be how much?
It will be about 13,000 shillings.
And for our electric?
For electric, it will be about 3 to 5.
5,000?
Yes, Your Excellency.
About one quarter?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And the price, the purchase price?
The purchase price, I think we are working on that, Your Excellency. But our rough calculation is that 7 million, Your Excellency.
7 million?
Yes.
And how long will it last?
The motorcycle will last at least 10 years, at least, because the frame is very rugged. And what we have done is we have designed it using Ugandan conditions, so it can go on hills, potholes, and heavy-duty material that people use on motorcycles. So it will last for at least 10 years. The frame is very strong, and the parts are all, we intend to make all the parts here in Uganda so that it will be much cheaper.
And this other one lasts how many years normally?
The regular motorcycles,
5 years.
yeah, probably about 5 to 7, depending on usage.
These ones of fuel.
Yes.
So there you are, Ugandans, that the solution, instead of saying, okay, that's one. Now the railway, who is from the railway repairing the standard, the meter gauge, who can give us information?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. As far as repairing the meter gauge is concerned, we are repairing the Kampala Maraba meter gauge railway.
Remove your mask so that we can hear you.
We are repairing the Kampala Malaba meter gauge railway, where currently we receive most of our cargo from, and also we are planning to repair, that is Mukono Chengera, to increase on the passengers. Also we have the repairing of the Tororo Gulu railway line. Then in addition we shall have the one of Gulu Pakwach. Then also we are studying about the repairing of Kampala Kasese, all those lanes. And currently the line we have, the Kampala Maraba rail line, where we are carrying our cargo. Currently we are handling a cargo of 20,000 tons, that is per month. But when by November we finish its rehabilitation, because the line was a bit old and we are soon completing, we shall handle 60,000 tons of cargo, that is a day.
A day?
A day. And then also, Your Excellency.
How long will that take? How long will it take?
To repair?
Yes.
By November, we shall have finished the rehabilitation of the Kampala Maraba rail line.
By October, they would have finished repairing Kampala Maraba.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Then Tororo, Guru, and then Guru Pakwach.
The one of Tororo Guru, because we also have the Guru Logistic Hub, which can hand out of cargo. The Tororo Guru, by the end of next year, we shall have finished it, because we had some issues with the people who had encroached on the rail line, but we are handling it, and by end of next year, we shall be there. Then by end of 2025, we shall have finished the other one of Kampala, Kasese, then the one of Guru Pakwach. Then this one of Kampala Chengera, where we see, because currently we are, this one of Kampala Namave, it is carrying passengers, about 2,000 passengers a day. So we have also decided to extend Kampala Chengera, so that these ones who are going through the jam, if they go by train, they will move very fast. And that one, by the end of next year, we shall be done with it, Mzee.
And when you transport cargo by train, how much cheaper is it? Have you done the Chibaru?
Maybe I may invite the MDRC to tell us when they transport cargo by train, how cheap it is.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Stanley Sendegea.
Your name is?
My name is Stanley Sendegea. I'm the Managing Director of Uganda
Who?
Railways. Stanley Sendegea.
Sendegea.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Okay.
Yeah, Your Excellency, when you move cargo currently on road, it's 19 cents, US cents from Mombasa to Kampala. And railway currently we are doing 13 cents.
From Kampala to Mombasa?
Mombasa to Kampala is 19 cents on road.
19 cents?
US cents, Your Excellency.
Per
net ton kilometer.
Per
net ton kilometer. Per
per
NTK.
You tell us the total. You'll confuse us. You know we are from Rwakitura.
Your Excellency, when you move cargo by road from Mombasa,
Like a whole ton from here to Mombasa.
and now if it is a container, for instance, a 20-feet container, on road it will cost you about 3,000, and on rail it will be about 1,500.
Okay, so it will be like half.
It will be like a half, Your Excellency.
Now, the internal here, the internal, the matoke, the what, how much would it be cheaper?
Now, internal, Your Excellency,
If you had a lorry full of 7 tons
yes, Your
of
Excellency.
matoke from Tororo to here,
Yeah, we are doing we are doing $500 by 20. That's about to 25. Whereas the road will be twice. The best example is passengers, where we are doing 1,000 shillings from Namave to Kampala, and the road is doing 4,000 shillings.
okay.
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, Sendege is telling you that by this Kampala Kayora train,
Yes, sir.
that on the train you pay 1,000,
Yes, Your Excellency.
but on other means you would pay about 4,000.
4,000, and we are using 45 minutes, whereas the road you can sit in a taxi for 3 hours between Namava and Kampala, Your Excellency.
The traffic jam and all that.
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, Ugandans, the NRM answer for this imported inflation is number one, especially the fuel part. The other parts we have got separate answers. For the fertilizer, we shall make our own. For the buto, we shall make our own. For the wheat, I don't know, Rwamirama can tell us whether we can grow wheat because we don't have enough cold land for wheat. If you can grow wheat in the lowlands and it brings more money than cassava, I will promote it. Otherwise, I would encourage our people to go to cassava to be like me. I don't eat, I'm here, Ugandans. I don't eat bread. I don't eat rice because I'm not an Indian. I'm not a European. You see me, I am from the Cow clan. Nedirante, but they want to make a and I hear these doctors, Barimus, can tell you that actually wheat has got a problem. It has got something called what? You can tell us, the one of the stomach. Wheat, bread, has got some. Gluten. It's got what?
Gluten. It has gluten.
It has something called gluten,
Yes.
which causes indigestion.
Yes. Digestion and the other elements.
Hmm?
So it's not good for our health.
You tell them,
It contains gluten, and that's not good for our health. Causes indigestion, but also puts you at risk of other ailments,
like
blood pressure, even cancers.
even the cancer.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Diabetes.
Uh-huh. So
the message you have been giving that
so
the
therefore,
organic foods like
my own
cassava,
pressure is solve the problem of palm oil, grow it locally, but also fertilizer. That wheat, I'm not in a hurry because I know there are other alternatives. But Ramama can tell us, those who, can we grow wheat, where can we grow wheat?
Your Excellency, we can grow wheat in the eastern region and on the Rwenzori where we have temperate climate. But recently we have an investor whom you met from South Africa. They have got a technology, say because of our altitude, we can produce wheat massively using the new technology. You met him, Your Excellency, the one who wants to do machinery here and silos to supply the feeds for the animals.
Okay.
Yes, Your Excellency.
We can even grow it in the lowlands, like in
Yes.
Bunyoro.
Yes, he said he can because the altitude is high. But this is he says new technology, and he's
Okay.
very sure about it.
Okay, but for me, my real problem is the fertilizer, because all the others, we are no longer kusaka. The milk, the beer, the soap, the soda. Oh, if we were kusaka all those, where would we be? Uh-huh. And remember in 1986, we were kusaka all these. But we covered most of them. There's only this gap of this one. So therefore, for fuel, for petroleum, the answer is okusenguka. For abalunzi, bofuna ekizibu awantu ente nizifiirawo osenguka nogenda awalala, is to shift from petroleum to electric, and then the railway. Because the railway, even if it's not yet electric, even if it is still using diesel, but I think it's much cheaper. It uses much less in terms of economics. Because it carries more. Huh?
Yes, Your Excellency, it is cheaper. We will do less emissions. It doesn't emit a lot of carbon into the air, but also we use less fuel.
And you spend less.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Compared to what you carry.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Okay, so therefore, the answer is, number one, electric cars, electric pikipikis, the railway. And the money we have, we are going to spend it on those to get out of, not to deepen ourselves in the trap of Osaka, of dependency. So therefore, the way forward is, number one, because also this Osaka, buying from outside, you are buying expensive things, but you are also spending your dollars. The dollars, because when we buy things from outside, we don't use our Uganda shillings. We use dollars. Now these dollars, some of us have earned them for you. I have produced coffee and earned dollars for you. I have produced milk and earned dollars for you. And my other people have also earned for you. Now, when we bring the money here, you now send it back, the dollars, to buy more fuel. This is not fair. And the price of the dollar goes up. Because now the dollar has gone from 3,400 to now 3,000, about almost 900. Now that means I need to spend more shillings to buy the same dollar. So that's why it is very crucial that we earn more dollars. We earn more dollars. First, we suck less so that we don't spend as many dollars as we spend as few dollars as possible. But at the same time, we add value to our coffee, to our minerals, so that we earn more dollars. We earn more dollars. Then the kusenguka, from the kusenguka to the migrating, to move from the neo-colonial economy to our liberation economy, the one clean energy, less kusaka, more value for our products. The short term, because people may say, okay, Museveni, what you are talking about will take some time. What you talk about will take some time to be realized. I know that. But our answer for the short time are two. Number one, diplomacy. Since this problem started, I've been talking with the Russians, I've been talking with the Americans, all of them confidentially. Now you see, like the wheat diplomacy, which involves other people, has started bringing the wheat of Ukraine. Now, even fuel, because if we wanted, we could talk with Russia and say, Russia, you sell us subsidized fuel. They could sell it to us. But that will put us in collision with the Americans. We'll start quarreling with the Americans now. And for now, I don't think this is necessary. I think for now, let us okukekereza the fuel to economize to use litro, and as we get these other solutions. Now, these measures will help us to deal with the imported problem, the ones we have talked about. But we can also have our own problems here. Like recently, we had a little bit of drought. The rain was not reliable. And we don't want, and because of that, some crops failed. Of course, Uganda has got many foods. We have got bananas, we have got these other ones, but we want to stabilize our agriculture so that we never have our own problems now. Because if it is crop failure, because of rain, or because of insects which eat crops, then we shall no longer be importing problems, but we shall also be having a problem of our own. So I would like the Minister of Agriculture to tell you about our plan for ensuring that we are immunized against all these local problems.
Your Excellency, honorable colleague ministers and distinguished viewers, because of increased population and human activities, they have put pressure on the environment and caused degradation of environment. And as a result, we have experienced dry spells, which are very severe, like His Excellency has mentioned. We are, as a result of failed weather conditions, our soils are exhausted, and we are also having experience of droughts, and matters are made worse by the pests. As a result of this, the President has guided that we come up with a plan to mitigate the effects of climate change and the failed weather condition, to ensure that we have food enough for our population. And the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries have done the following measures. One is that because much of our arable land is not cultivated, we are going into mechanization full scale, and we have going to have 21 mechanization centers in the country. We are also empowering farmers to make sure that both medium and large-scale farmers, they mechanize agriculture. We are no longer thinking of really rain-fed agriculture anymore. His Excellency has supported us to make sure that we provide water for livestock, for crop resources, and we are going to do irrigation and also provide water for livestock and water for aquaculture. Equally important are the soil health. We must know that much of our land is not opened up, and even where land has been opened up, the soils are degraded. We have made arrangements to make sure that we use fertilizers, and even where land has not been opened, it's no longer a choice to have fertilizers, but it's a must, because even most of the lands, our land where we have cultivated, the soils are exhausted. So we are looking at the necessary soil nutrients and applying fertilizers in those areas. And we are very grateful for the President's plan of making fertilizers here in Uganda, particularly in the eastern region. Equally, other interventions are interventions to do with extension services, and we are supporting post-harvest losses and storage facilities from the small holders to medium farmers to large-scale farmers, and we continue to work with Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperative to make sure that those silos, the regional silos, are run professionally so that we mitigate the challenges of storages. In the short term, we have been supported by the President once again that we look at immediately people and institutions which can provide land, produce food. You must be aware that the parish model, many farmers are moving away from low-value crops like maize, and this may cause a shortage of both human food and animal feed. So in this regard, we are looking at opening a huge land for maize, for soybean, and for key crops. And we have looked at available land from government institutions. The first one is Uganda Prisons, which we have been working with. They are going to open up about 50,000 acres of land. We are looking at UPDF. We are looking at NAGRIC. We are looking at NARO. We are looking at I think police and UPDF, NEC, so that in the short term, in this season which is coming, we are ready to finance this opening up of this land and make sure that the land available immediately to government is used for production of very key important crops to make sure that we are food secure. And I want to say that against this background, we are making sure we provide seed and planting materials of high quality, and NARO is in the forefront of this. Also stocking material for livestock and stocking material for fisheries. Your Excellency, once again, I want to say that we have already submitted a cabinet paper and has been approved, and we are ready to roll out this budget in the short run. And I think this is the way to go, Your Excellency. And on the side of the shortage of palm oil, I will ask my colleague to add on so that we can now finish. Thank you for your attention, Your Excellency.
Do we have pictures of some irrigation? If we have pictures of some irrigation, show us.
Yes, Your Excellency, they are available. I think they were given some pictures, and we have very huge irrigation schemes which are running, and we have planned so many water facilities in the cattle corridor and in many areas where water is.
You can show them to us after Chakura has told us about the palm oil.
Okay, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, dear viewers and listeners out there, it is true, it is because of importation of crude palm oil that the prices of soap and the prices of cooking oil are high. As we talk, the country is importing about 300 metric tons of crude palm oil.
300,000.
300,000 metric tons. And for this, we are paying US dollars 300 millions,
Can you imagine? 300 million.
which is the equivalent of about 1.2 trillions, which is more than 2% of our national budget. And it is true, you have guided us to reverse this situation of donating.
So we get $800 million from coffee,
and
and
donate 300
immediately we
million of
send
it.
back
Yes.
300 million for this oil, which we can do here.
So, Your Excellency, you have guided us, and you have been leading the effort of reversing this situation since the early 1990s, when you directed us to do trials of growing palm oil in Uganda. And we found that it is possible to grow rain-fed palm oil in Uganda. And we embarked on this project in 2005, after resisting, overcoming a lot of resistance from different circles. So in 2005, we started planting palm oil in Kalangala. And as we talk, we have planted a total of 11,352 hectares. And from this, we are getting 41,511 metric tons, meaning that we have started reducing on the deficit of our national demand for palm oil, which we use for making soap.
So the 41,000 is deducted from the 300,000, or it would have been 340,000.
It would have been 340,000.
Oh, okay.
Because this effort was of earlier than the time when we calculated the deficit of 300,000, which we are importing from mainly Indonesia and Malaysia. Having found that it is viable to grow palm oil here, we have expanded this program to Buvuma, where we plan to plant 7,650 hectares. Work in Buvuma has started. We have acquired land. An investor has started planting palm oil in Buvuma and establishing a mill. And in 1 year, we shall start harvesting and start milling. And once we start milling, we expect 28,611 metric tons from Buvuma. Concurrently, Your Excellency, you guided and the government provided 54 square miles of land to an investor in Maruzi in Apache district, where this investor is establishing 12,000 hectares of palm oil. And this is irrigated as opposed to rain-fed, which is in Kalangala and Buvuma. This investor has already established the irrigation system in that area, able to feed water to 12,000 hectares. And he has planted, and by June 2023, he will start harvesting and milling. And at the peak, from Maruzi, we expect 44,880 metric tons of crude palm oil. We have also started work in Sango Bay. Your Excellency, you provided 16,700 hectares of land to 2 investors in Sango Bay, and we are going to mobilize the surrounding communities to be outgrowers. And in Sango Bay, we expect 20,000 hectares in total when you combine the nucleus farm and the outgrowers. And out of this, we expect 74,800 metric tons. Your Excellency, we also plan to expand to Mayuge, and that hub of Mayuge will cover the districts of Bujiri and Namayingo. And for that hub, we expect 6,200 metric tons, from which we expect 23,188 metric tons of crude palm oil. Similarly, we want to establish another hub in Uyukwe that will cover Mukono and other areas, which has 3,000 hectares, and from which we expect 11,220 metric tons. We also plan to go to Masaka, where we expect a total of 3,000 hectares, where we expect 11,220 metric tons. We also found that it is possible to grow rain-fed oil palm in the Bunyoro area to cover Chivale, Kagadi, and Fort Portal. And this area, our plan is for 9,000 hectares. And from these 9,000 hectares, we expect 33,660 metric tons. And finally, we plan to establish similar plantations in the areas of Zombo, Moyo, and Ajumani. And in that area, we also plan for 9,000 hectares, from which we expect 33,660. Your Excellency, the arrangement is that in each of these hubs, government will allocate land to a private investor to establish a nucleus plantation and a mill for extracting the crude palm oil from the fresh fruit bunches. But also, our arrangement is that once an investor has established a nucleus farm and a mill on a minimum of 5,000 hectares, then we mobilize farmers or the community surrounding that nucleus farm. And we encourage them to grow palm oil based on the profitability of this enterprise. We have calculated that this enterprise is profitable. We have actually found out that once you are a smallholder farmer up to 2 hectares, which is about 5 acres, you will be able to earn on a monthly basis 500,000 shillings once you start harvesting in 3 years after planting. And you'll be able to earn that money, 500,000 shillings, every month for 25 to 30 years. And this is a steady income. And Your Excellency, we have resources to finance these smallholder farmers to a tune of about 23 million shillings, because we have calculated that the cost of establishing a palm oil plantation of 2 hectares, which is about 5 acres, is exactly that amount of 23 million shillings. So we have resources to finance smallholder farmers that are ready to plant up to 2 hectares with 23 million shillings, and then they pay back in a period of 10 years at an interest of 10%. And Your Excellency, our experience in Kalangala is that this arrangement is very successful. We have disbursed about 53 billion shillings in loans to smallholder farmers in Kalangala. And as we talk, the recovery rate of this loan to the smallholders is 100%. There are no defaulters, meaning that the business is viable, so the smallholders are able to pay back the money borrowed, and at the same time retain a monthly income, which is steady. Your Excellency, on addition to the support to these farmers, we have arranged in such a way that the community become shareholders in the company that has invested in that area by virtue of the government's contribution of land to the investor. Once the government contributes land to the investor, then that contribution is translated into 10% shares into the company, shares owned by the community that surrounds this company. Your Excellency, I'll give you an example. In Kalangala, since this project started in 2005, and the government gave land to the investor, Bidco Uganda Limited, the shares have attracted dividend of 37 billion shillings, which is benefited to the local community. So Kalangala farmers, the smallholder farmers.
Local community, you mean outgrowers?
Outgrowers.
Yes, be specific, not the ones who are ambao wanazurura mjini. No.
Yes, it's the farmers.
The outgrowers.
The outgrowers. Yes, so they benefit by becoming shareholders in the company.
They earn from what they sell, but they also earn from
the
owning.
Profits of the company.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Okay, so now you show us the irrigation. The picture person shows us the irrigation. This television, you should use it to educate people, not to talk rubbish as normally. I hope I have not been talking rubbish for the last 2 hours. Like I normally see people. Where is that? Somebody should tell us. Anyamanyi.
Your Excellency, maybe I mention, we have Doho in Butareja, which is having the rice and...
Oh, they are showing something there. They are saying it is what?
That is Tochi.
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 Tochi in Oyam. Mm-hmm.
We have Mubuku 1 in Kasese. We have Agoro in Kitugum, Dokoro. Orwenyi in Dokoro. We have Ruengaju in Kabarore. We have Mubuku 2 in Kasese. We have Doho 2 in Utaleja. Rice, which is serving rice and covering an area of 1,178. We have Sironko, Achomai in Bukedia and Sironko. It is serving an area of 1,000 hectares. We have medium scheme, which is Tochi, the one which was there. It is covering an area of 500 hectares. We have Ngege in Kwen. It is serving 880 hectares. We have Atari in Kwen rice, serving 680. We have other existing and functional irrigation scheme, Your Excellency. This is Kibimba, Bujiri. It's covering an area of 3,900 hectares. We have Kachira in Jinja sugarcane. It's functional and private. It has 1,500 hectares. We have Rugazi serving the sugarcane, is also private. So it's 322 hectares. We have Muhochakasese rice scheme. It is functional and serving communities, covering 50 hectares. We have existing schemes, but not in a good state. We have Kige in Kamuli. We have Odina in Soroti. We have Rabori, Serere, and Atera in Napach, and Ongom, Aleptonga. Your Excellency, this with the new arrangement, we are going to make them functional, Your Excellency.
Now you can see this one. This is a micro. You put back that one there. You can see this one is not part of the other mega ones. Put it. Bring it back. Yeah, you can see that one is the micro one, the ones we are going to give solar-powered water pumps. Then you can irrigate your garden. Not part of what Ramarama was talking about. Because what Ramarama was talking about was the big ones, but these are the micro ones, which can be on each farm.
Your Excellency, we are planning to make intervention on medium and large-scale farmers, and we're using solar and also irrigation, upstream irrigation where applicable.
Yeah, these ones are based on almost on each farm or each village where there is not the other ones which are
large.
Those
which are not communal. I mean, which are communal.
Which are communal. This one is
individual.
Is individual. Now, finally, the environment. The environment. You know, NRM is like. Well, I don't want to take away God's glory by comparing NRM to a prophet. A prophet. Because whatever we tell you, when people don't listen, that's how we get into problems. When we were in the bush fighting Amin, we wrote the 10-point program. And we told you about point number 5. Please, if you want to be all right, build an economy which is integrated, independent, self-sustaining. Don't have a dependent economy. That's what we say in writing. It's not. Now, where people listen, we move. Where they don't listen, we get into problems. These high prices are imported high prices. Because people, for the fuel one, I can say this was maybe unavoidable. But for the others, like for instance, cooking oil, this palm oil, if people were not opposing us, would have moved long ago. Would not be having that problem. 300 million, imagine $300 million to bring buto, which we can produce here. Now, coming to the environment, how many times have we begged you, please, you Ugandans? God is the one who made this earth. And in the book of Genesis, he said, water separates from the land, and the land separated from the water. It is in the book of Genesis, very clearly. But people say, no, God was wrong. He didn't know what he was talking about. Where God said there should be water, somebody makes a garden. Umurusoga bakoba nti Kibumba yari tayidi ki yari akora. God didn't know what he was doing. Really, God is the one who said, this is a swamp. This is a river. This is a mountain. This is a forest, Ichibira. Imaramagambo. You know the forest in Ankole is called Imaramagambo. The Wanyankole called it Imaramagambo because it was so big. When you went there, you had no words to say. You were speechless. It was so massive. This is ancient. My great-grandfather, Kashanku, Kachamkanga, Ririmbura, used to go there to steal cows from the Banyabutumbi who were living in the forest. And the Bahoro would come back telling Rise that the Banyabutumbi has got tails, that they had tails. Ancient forest. We had another forest which was put by the colonial borders in Tanzania called Muzeire Otakwa. Muzeire, up to now it is there. I don't know whether the Tanzanians have cut it. That is where Banyankole would retreat with their cows when they would be invaded by Banyoro in their tribal wars. The forest was called Muzeire Otakwa. Once you are there, nobody can access you. Now, these are the forests, these are the swamps. But people don't listen. Now, globally, the Europeans, because of greed, they are the ones who have been pushing all these fuel. You know, this fuel was introduced 1 century ago. And when the Europeans came here, they brought it. Fuel, petrol. In Ntunga, my aunt would go to the trading center. And she would come back holding her nose that that she has smelled fuel that it has. The way she was calling it. I don't want to tell you what. Huh? But we were told, no, this is modern. Now, Kumbe, this what they call modern is poison. This petrol, which we are saying, please get away, which you are telling us to subsidize, is actually poison. And it is the one bringing a bad gas in the atmosphere, which is increasing the temperature of the world. Europeans are banning. Maybe you can show us what's happening to the Europeans. Show us what's happening. There, you have got your Europeans. You like Europeans, so there you are. I have brought them for you. You see what's happening? And they speak in their American English. Wow. That's what is happening there. That's what is happening.
Wilderness interface is making them super vulnerable, so the only thing that can be done is to fortify those communities. Do zoning laws, new maybe construction bylines, and really educating the public about clearing brush around the house, trying to get fireproof gutters on the house, and trying to prevent them best you can. But at this point, there's so much fuel out there, whether it's lightning or whether it's sparks from a flat tire or grill embers, they're just going to happen more frequently, unfortunately.
Tonight, the United States is in the midst of an extreme weather nightmare with record heat, fires, and severe flooding. Brian Todd is working the story for us. Brian, every region of the country seems to be affected, at least in some way.
Right, Wolf, just about every corner of the lower 48. On one extreme, federal officials say there are 40 active large wildfires that have burned more than 1 million acres in 6 states. On the other, historical rainfall and snow melting are dealing a crippling blow to an iconic landmark. A large house crumbles into the surging Yellowstone River and washes downstream.
That is insane.
The town of Gardner, Montana, where that house was, has been left isolated, surrounded by water, according to officials, with swift water rescues taking place. Heavy rain and melting snow caused catastrophic flooding in Yellowstone National Park, which had to be evacuated. Roads and bridges washed away.
So, that's nantaburirwa yasabana n'ababumba. The one who cannot be advised was told that, please, clay cannot make a boat. But he didn't listen. He went and got clay and made a boat, and when he put it in the water, when he had just got some 40 meters away from the bank, he drowned. And with the background of Rukora, we got a proverb out of it. Nti nantaburirwa yasabana n'ababumba. Now, the environment, we have been telling you, this is very pleased. Unfortunately, leaders who are real enemies of their people, they tell them, no, don't worry. You see people going into danger because you want them to vote for you by deceit, you let them stay in danger. Now, you have seen what has happened in so many places, including recently in Mbale. So the cabinet is going to meet on Monday. We have already, of course, discussed it. First of all, I express condolences again to the people of Mbale, to the people of Kapchorwa. I sent some little support to the families, which was taken by Mire Babaranda. I also sent something small for those who are injured. I had not got the figure clear, but I have now got it. Now, for the displaced, the Prime Minister's office is taking relief and will take support. But more importantly, we must this time listen to the NRM advice, which we have been giving you from the very beginning. When we came in 1986, Mabira had been encroached on. Idi Amin had told people that you go to the forest. Forest has no value. Go and grow sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are more important than trees. And people had invaded Mabira forest. When we came, we chased them. They left. But now, because we are busy fighting wars on the Sudan border, on the Congo border, all these distractions, people now started invading the forests, invading the wetlands. So we are going to have a meeting next Monday and come out with a comprehensive plan to really make sure that we respect the environment. God, you have seen there the temperatures. Some of the areas have got 40 degrees centigrade, some 45 degrees centigrade. In Europe, in Spain, in Portugal, in England, in France, in some parts of Germany, in the United States, they are roasting. Here, I think the temperature is always 20-something, 20-something. At night it is very cold. It is much colder. We are still lucky because we are a highland. We are a plateau. So please, let's save ourselves. We have got everything here. The one who is talking to you, I have land. It's not that I'm talking to you about things I don't know. Where I have land, you will find that I respect all the environment there. If you go to Ntungamo, where I was born, where my daughter is now doing some work, you will find the Rufunjo there, the papyrus swamp of Chamate, Katinda, Chamugashi. It is there. Nobody can touch it. It is sacrilege. That Rufunjo, what they call Kitogo in Uganda, the papyrus swamp, it was put there by God. Who am I to interfere with it? I should use it the way it is. I can take water from there, use it, irrigation, but the swamp must remain. I can cut the papyrus and use it for something, it will grow again. God is really planned everything for us. In other swamps, you find ebugugu. Ebugugu, I think even here I have had places called Narugugu or something like that. I think in Uganda they also know ebugugu. These are the swamp for the grass. The grass for the swamp. The grass for the swamp. It is called ebugugu. The scientific name is Cyperus latifolia. These are planted by God. You cut, you mulch the garden, it grows again. So really, people to interfere with this is a crime against God. It's not a crime against the law, republic. No, against God. Because God is the one who made all this arrangement for us. Everything is very easy. The other day I went to Bushenyi, where we were supporting people. Now one of the proposals, Sebo, uteze sente, tugure pick-up, tuze kugura ebigugu, byoko aromi musiri. That I should give them, I think a half truck or something like that, to go and kusaka, to import grass for mulching their garden, because when we do modern farming, you need mulching. I said, what happened to the swamp near here? They had uprooted it. They now want money to go and have somebody to have a contract to supply ebugugu from 30 miles away. What happened to, in Ankole, every valley has got a swamp. You have a hill like this. On the other side, you have got a swamp. Which, if it is seasonal, it will have ebugugu there. If it is permanent, it will have papyrus. This is how God had arranged the whole place. Now you destroy that, then you start running around that you want vehicles to import Cyperus latifolia from 30 miles away. This is not acceptable. So I'm very sorry what happened in Mbale, but we had long predicted this, and please wait for our plan. And this time, we don't want any games. Everybody will have to fall in line, and we respect what God arranged for us and use it the way God wanted us to use it. Sustainably, don't interfere with it, but you use it. It is a cow which gives milk, you feed the cow, tomorrow you milk again. I thank you, and I wish you good luck. Thank you very much. Or maybe Nankabiro can summarize for us in some, can you put in some funza?
Webale nnyo ssebo President. Kangezeeko okufunzafunza nga President yatandise n'okutulamusaako era n'atujjukiza nti yali wano wiiki eyo ewedde nga era omulamwa guli ku bbeeyi y'ebintu eyeekalamye ennaku zino. Ensonga ziri bbiri ze yatugamba ku olwo, yateekako ekyamafuta okulinnya naye n'ateekako n'ekya COVID-19 eyasiba ensi, ate ensi yaggulwawo mangu ne tubeera nga obwetaavu weebuli naye ng'ate abakola ebintu bye twetaaga tebasobola kukola kusinziira ku sipiidi y'ebyetaaga ebyo. Naye olwaleero era azzeemu n'akkaatiriza ensonga ey'amafuta, kubanga amafuta gwe musaayi ogutambuza ebyenfuna by'eggwanga. N'ekyokubiri, ensonga y'ebintu bye tugula ebweru nga tubigula mu ssente enzungu eza $, ebintu nga ebijimusa, ebintu nga ebinazi mwe tukola butto, era nga batubulidde wano nti tusaasaanya miliyoni za $, 300,000 kumpi bw'ozizza mu ssente za Uganda buli obuwumbi obusukka 1,000 nga tugula just ebintu nga tugula butto ate gwe tusobola okujja mu binazi singa tubyerimidde. Ebintu ebirala ebyamaguzi bye tusuubula ebweru ng'eŋŋano naye n'atubulira nti eŋŋano kati egenze ekkako wansi era n'atubulira nti eŋŋano ye alaba ku lulwe nti tulina ebintu ebyaffe wano bye tusobola okulya ne twewala eŋŋano nga bw'atugamba okulya muwogo abantu abamu balowooza nti oba abaatujereze naye ng'ate muwogo kwe twakulira ate nga muwogo talina na bulabe bulala oba oliawo obuyinza okuva mu ŋŋano eyinza okuba nga etulwaza n'endwadde ze tutamanyi kuba ffe wano mu Africa tetwakulira ku ŋŋano. Tulina akalo ke tusobola okuggyamu obuugi oba okukolamu emmere. So eŋŋano nayo ng'eri waggulu olw'okuba olutalo ffenna lwe tumanyi obulungi kati era tululaba ku TV olutalo lwa Russia. Naye amafuta tulina okutegeera ensi yonna yasalawo era mu myaka 2 egijja amafuta gano aga petroli agafuumuula omukka ogukosa obutonde bw'ensi ogubikka akabubi waggulu awo ebbugumu ne liba nga terifuluma ensi n'ekoleera omuliro ne mulaba nga emiti gyekoleeza gyokka olwa temperature oba ebbugumu eddene eringi ennyo erimaamidde mu nsi ezo ez'ebweru wano Katonda yatubikako akasubi bwe yatukola yatuteerawo ebyo ebisobola okukuuma embeera yaffe wano nga tokozesezza biwujjo n'obeera nga emisana si muliro ate ekiro si mpewo nnyingi. Naye bwe mulaba ebigenda mu maaso ebweru amafuta kye kimu ku bintu ebituleetedde ebbugumu lino okuba nti terikyafuluma bulungi olw'akabubi ako akali waggulu akakoseddwa. So kaakati ffe mu Uganda tuli mu abo abatandika okudevelopinga amafuta gaffe era mu ssaawa eno ey'akawungeezi akiyise kuba nti Uganda ejja kulya kaamukuulo ng'embuzi keeri olw'eggulo erya mangu ffe tujja kuba n'ekiseera eky'okwesiima nga tukoze amafuta gaffe kubanga waliwo era ebintu ebijja okugenda mu maaso nga byetaagisibwa nga biva mu mafuta. So tugenda mu maaso n'okuvumbula amafuta gaffe mu 2025 tugenda kulaba amatondo g'amafuta nga tugajja mu ttaka. Muzeeyi era atugambye nti ebyamafuta bino bireeta okuseerebwa mu bintu ebirala ng'amatooke era n'agamba nti abagula amatooke obuseere temumunenya nga ye ne maama balima amatooke ne batunda amatooke naye entambuza yaago bwebanga erinnya olw'amafuta okulinnya n'abatikka amatooke nabo bajja kwongeza buli kintu kijja kubanga kyeyongeza olw'okuba amafuta galinnye kati ettooke nalyo lyeyongedde n'entambuza y'ebintu obummonde okuva ekabaale n'ebyamaguzi ebirala nga bireetebwa mu bibuga naye era nabyo biba birinnya. Muzeeyi atugambye nti ebyobufuzi kubanga avudde emabega ng'atulabula era ng'atubulira ku binajja mu maaso naye abamu ebyobufuzi balooza byakusaaga. Ebyobufuzi si byakusaaga. Bw'okola okusalawo okukyamu oyinza okuzanyira ku bulamu bw'abantu. Bw'okola decision entuufu oba okusalawo okutuufu oba ojja kutaasa abantu. Kati yazze ng'atujjukiza bwe baagenda mu nsiko baakomawo na nsonga ssemasonga ki ensonga 10 ssemasonga kwe baasalawo abo abanunuza okutambulira naye ng'ensonga ey'okutaano baasalawo okuteekateeka ebyenfuna ebiyungagana ebisobola okweyimirizaawo ne bitaasa eggwanga lino. Eyo y'ensonga ssemasonga ey'okutaano. Era yagamba nti atugambye nti mu biseera by'ameefuga waliwo ebintu 3 bye baateekako essira okufunamu ensimbi ng'emmwanyi, pamba ne kopa tumutegeera oba oyinza omuyita ekikomo. Ebyo ebintu 3 ne wabeerawo n'ebirala nga amajaani nga taaba n'ebyobulambuzi nga biteekako essira. Naye kakati okuva olwo bw'ogeraageranya n'omulembe guno oguliko tuwaagaziya lisiti eyo ffe ne tulaba nti ne kasooli bw'omuteekako essira n'omugya mu akawunga ate ebirala ne bikola emmere y'ebisolo n'emmere y'enkoko awera oba otaasizza eggwanga. Waliwo ebintu ebirala by'oyinza era okuteekako bye tutaddeko value byatubuulidde eby'ebyennyanja okuba nti tetulya buli naye tukolamu filet ne tutunda ebweru ebibala atukoledde ekibalo n'atulaga engaziya gye twagaziyamu okuva ku biri emmwanyi ze baatusimbisa nga batukuba na kibooko pamba kakati buli kintu wano kisobola okuvaamu singa tugattako value. Atubuulidde nti nga kati abasogola omwenge nze taata wange yalina license enguuli distira nga license agijja Luzira ng'alima embidde yikanga 10 naye ng'ate ayina n'essogolero wasogolera nga maama ye yeekwata muwemba okugusiika n'okugusa ne bateekako omuwemba ne babikka ne bayiisa naye ate era ng'alina ne waafumbira enguuli mu mapipa n'asengejja n'afuna emmandule n'avuga omwenge ogwo n'aguleeta Luzira ne bakula Uganda Wallet.
Oyo yali wa NRM ddala ddala.
Yali musajja kaawonawo ssebo yalwana mu lutale ye Bama naye nga bw'otunuulira awo ng'ate yasinga abantu okuba ne ssente ng'abalala bamuguza obubidde omulala n'aleeta omuwemba. So kaakati tutunule mu mbeera yaffe eyo wansi ekibala ekyo atunda amabidde ng'atema n'agatta amabidde okukola enkota emu ey'amabidde ogatta amabidde enkota nga 3 oba 4 ogw'omulengo ne bakuwaamu siringize 3,000 naye omuntu asogotte n'ayiisa n'afumba atugambye tukole ekibala ekyo naye nze kati kino nkimanyi kubanga nakirabako omuntu oyo afuna ssente nnyingi okusinga ono alejjesa embidde. So okugattako value kujja kutununula okuva mu kusaka ng'ennambe ennyingo eri ey'okutaano ey'okuteekawo ebyenfuna ebyeyimirizaawo ng'ate biyungagana.
Kijja kutununula ate we tukikozeeko kimaze okutununula ng'ekyamata ng'ekyapamba. So if we can okugaziya ne tuteeka n'emmwanyi n'ebirala.
Yes. Kati ekyo tukirabyeko era tulabye wano ne ku lutimbe batulaze ebinazi bye tutandise okulaba nti bikendeeza ensaasaanya yaffe ssente ze tusaasaanya okugula ebintu ebyo. So kati tulina okuva mu kusaka kubanga mu kusaka bambi gwe owaayo ssente z'eŋŋanda okugula ebintu okubiyingiza mu ggwanga. Kakati nno mu kaseera kano essente y'eŋŋanda eri wansi nnyo olina okufuna essente ezo eza Uganda nnyingi nnyo okusobola okuweza enzungu ezinaayingiza muno mu ggwanga ebintu ebyo bye twetaaga. So eddagala ery'okutujja mu kattu kano ke tulina kukendeeza okujjako we kitaasobokera kukendeereza ddala okusaka. Kati ng'ekyamafuta wabaddewo abagamba pulezidenti nti ataddira essente azijja awalala atwongererezeeko ffe abagula amafuta abagakozesa. Gw'ogende ku petrol station ogula amafuta liita ogigule 2,000 oba 3,000 naye nga in reality liita eyo yali badde egula 6. Kitegeeza pulezidenti ajje ssente awalala ateekewo embeera eyo gwe kulowoozesa ti amafuta si ga bbeeyi naye nze ssente agenda zijjawo. Kitegeeza either agenda kuteekako omusolo ku bintu ebirala asobole okufuna ssente ezo oba okuyimiriza programs ng'okulima enguudo tusobole okulaba nti amafuta go gaguze ku 3,000 so nga ate ensi yonna yonna amafuta galinnye gali waggulu okusinga 3,000. Kati n'atusomera enkalala z'enguudo naye mu nguudo omwo mubaddemu nze ezinkwatirako ddala okuyimiriza okukola okutuddaabiriza oluguudo lwa Busunju Kiboga Hoima nga tumanyi bulungi ti Hoima kati eriyo trucks nnyingi ebimotoka bingi ebitwala ebikozesebwa ehoima eyo mu mafuta, awo tuba tujja kubanga tuweefumise mu kifuba. Oluguudo lwaffe olutuyunga ku factory z'ekapeeka oluguka ewa Kituuma ng'ekiboga abantu batandise okulima emiyembe tulowooza tugenda kutwala ekapeeka mu factory. Bwe tuyimiriza enguudo bwe zityo, n'enguudo nnyingi buli katundu ka Uganda eri oluguudo either lukolebwa nga lupya oba okuddaabiriza olwo olukadde olubaddeyo. So kaakati NRM yo neegamba nti subsidy oba okuteekawo kiguumaazi oyo nti amafuta tubenga tugenda netugagula ku ssente entono, so nga ate tuyimiriza programs ate era ezijja kubanga zituleetera essente, ekyo NRM tejja kitambulirako. NRM egamba tulekeraawo okusaka, tulime ebinazi tubigezesezza bikola, tuteekeko omutindo ku nte ze tulunda, amata ge tufuna tuleme kutunda amatabuta, tukole yogurt, tukole cheese, tukole ebyo bye tusobola okutunda ne ku miriraano ebitavunda mangu. Bw'aba kasooli waliwo ekiseera nga n'akawunga tukajja Kenya, kakati twagala obuwunga obukubiddwa wano, era gavumenti efubye okugaba ng'eyita mu Operation Wealth Creation programu eya bonna bagaggawale obuuma obwo obugabibwa. Tuli mu kaweefube kati okulaba nga tuteekayo amasannyalaze, kubanga generator ate tezijja kukola kibalo bulungi. Ebikajjo tusobola okufuna sukaali, naye ate tusobola n'okufunamu amasannyalaze n'ebintu ebirala. Ebbumba tusobola okulisima ne tutakoma kukolamu pots zokka, naye ne tufuna ne obwo obutegula obusereka. So ebyo byonna kati nga n'ekirala ekya gold, Uganda mukimanyi bulungi nti erina gold. Tulina kati amalongoosezo ga gold 9. Tulongoosa gold ne tutunda gold oyo awedde. Naye singa zaabu ne tutunda zaabu, singa tufuna amakolero ate agasobola okukola zaabu oyo ne gamukolamu bino bye twambala mu bulago, ne tutasaka bintu bino ne tubifuna wano, ate era tujja kubanga tufunamu nnyo. So kati okugattako omutindo kwe kujja okusobozesa okulekeraawo okusaka, kubanga okusaka kuli ku buseere. Ogendayo ne ssente z'eŋŋanda nga nnyingi nnyo, naye by'ofunamu mu ssente enzungu biba bitono. Ekijjo tujja mu kusaka ekirala, tutunuulire okukola ebidduka eby'amasannyalaze, emmotoka ez'amasannyalaze. Ku mulundi guli baatulaga Kayoola, ku mulundi guno tuzze ne Mr. Metu Katabaazi alina kampani gyetandika 2017, pulezidenti yagiggulawo. Baleeta mu Uganda emitwe gya loole, emitwe gy'emmotoka oba ebifuba, ne bagattako omutindo. Emmotoka neebanga ekoleddwa wano ebitundu 5 ku 100. Kyemmanyi nti era awo tuba kaleekaleko okusinga okuyingiza baasi eziweeredde ddala okukolebwa. Eri gye bazikolera teri mwana wa Uganda aliyo kyomuwadde omulimu. Naye Metu Katabaazi bw'abanga akolera wano emmotoka ezo ebitundu 5 ku 100, aba awadde abaana baffe emirimu, ate aba atuwonyezzaako naffe okusaka ebitundu 5 ku 100. Era alina pulaani okugaziya. Emmotoka ezo zikolebwa azitulaze wano, zitambula, tuzikozesa Ministry ya Health ne ministries endala, prisons, azitulaze wano emmotoka ezo nga zitambula. So Metu tumwebaza, era President yamusuubizza nti kyalibadde kirungi ffe nga mu gavumenti ne tuba nga ffe katale kaakasoose, awo tuba tuyambaganye. Kyemmanyi nti baministers tuwulidde era tugenda kukola ekisoboka. Kakati nga tumaze ekyo ekya emmotoka ez'amasannyalaze ne pikipiki, batubaliddemu nti ne pikipiki oyinza okuba ng'ogiraba ya buseere egula $7,000,000, naye ate pikipiki eyo ewangaala nnyo myaka 10 okusinga zino epikipiki endala ezikoleddwa ebweru nga tezimanyi na mbeera yaffe wano. Eno yo ey'amasannyalaze ekoleddwa wano ejja kubanga epimiddwa ku mbeera zaffe ebisiriko ensozi n'engeri gye twetikkamu abantu ne mupakira abantu 3 ku pikipiki tekikkirizibwa naye mu kikola eyo. So pikipiki zino ez'amasannyalaze zikoleddwa wano oyinza okulaba nti miliyoni 7 nnyingi naye ate ebbanga lyayo n'ennywa yaayo pikipiki eno endala ey'amafuta weenywera omutwalo gumu 13,000 eno yo pikipiki mu kilomita 7 eri enywa omutwalo gumu 13,000 eno ejja kubanga enywa wakati wa 4,000 oba 5,000 kati awo wokibalira nti oba okekkereza amafuta. Naye ate n'ekirala omukka guli ogwonoona obutonde bw'ensi kitukakatako ffenna Uganda n'ensi endala okukendeereza ddala ekintu kyonna kyonna ekivaamu ogwo omukka. President gwagambye nti sisita we yakomangawo eka nga akutte ennyindo nti emmotoka zimufuumuulidde omukka ate era n'omukka oguva mu petroli baamutusibako busibi teyali waffe wano. So twali tukozesa methods oba enkola eyaffe naye petroli ne bamuleeta petroli alimu obutwa mu byaddala akosa obulamu bwaffe. So mwami Metu tumuyozaayoza ne omukulu omulala akola pikipiki fenga Ministry ya Energy
University of
Professor Amega
International University of East Africa.
Ali mu University yaffe ya East Africa. Professor oyo akola ne banne Mr. Hassan batubuulidde nti balina ebikanga 5 ebya pikipiki ebikakasiddwa naffe mu Ministry eya Energy tumaze okukolagana ne charging station oba kubanga amasannyalaze eringa simu pikipiki eyo jagitwala we bagichargingira tuwamaze okukolagana ne charger oba naachargingira bwe Busega tugenda kukitongoza abantu bamanye tujja na kufuna mu bibuga ebyenjawulo charging stations oba we tunaachargingiranga amapikipiki ago naye nga mu byonna tulina okutambula n'ensi tulina okukozesa ebintu eby'amasannyalaze oba oyagala oba toyagala so kaakati tulina kwejjamu endowooza eyo. So mu kukola amasannyalaze eggaali y'omukka minisita atutegeezezza engeri gye bagiteeseteeseemu era tuyina essuubi. Eggaali y'omukka etambuza ebyamaguzi ku ssente entono etambuza n'abantu. Omuntu wasasulira 4,000 mu takisi bw'oba otambulidde mu ggaali ya mukka mu stretch eno okuva Kampala kutuuka oba Namanve oba ojja kusasula siringi 1,000 naye ate n'ekirala ojja kutuuka mangu kubanga bannayuganda balina emmotoka zaabwe era jjaamu abeeranga jjaamu. Omwana alina emmotoka emutwala ku ssomero n'omukyala alina emutwala okukola n'omwami alina so jjaamu abeera mungi naye eggaali y'omukka minisitule yaffe eya works eri mu kaweefube okulaba nga tulongoosa entambula n'entambuza y'emigugu n'abantu ejja kubanga ekenderedde ddala. Awo bwe tusesira ku ggaali y'omukka tuba tukendeezezza omukka ogwandivudde mu trucks ennyingi oba mu takisi ennyingi. N'ekyokubiri tuba era bannayuganda tubakendeereza ku ssente ze basasula nga batambulidde mu ggaali y'omukka. Kakati ne minisita ow'ebyobulimi kubanga obudde bugenze muzeeyo nsaasire ebimu mbibuuse. Minisita ow'ebyobulimi naye atubuulidde enteekateeka nnamutaayiika egenda okukolebwa okulaba nti Uganda erina emmere mu buli kyeya mu buli sizoni oba mu buli budde era nga tugenda kwongerako kubalimisa omukono kakumbi. Kakati twagala okutagetinga abantu abalina ettaka eddeneko institutions ezirina amataka nga prisons UPDF abo abalina ettaka eringi eddene tubayambe okubafunira ebyuma tubayambe okuteekateeka okufukirira tubayambe ku fertilizers oba ebigimusa. Tulina factory yaffe ettororo yafunamu obuzibuzibu naye egenda kuddamu okukola, egenda kutukolera ebigimusa. Bw'obanga okozesa ensigo ey'omulembe tosobola kwewala kufukirira, tosobola kwewala kukozesa bigimusa. Otherwise ne bw'onoba n'ensigo ennungi etya nga tokoze ebyo bintu bibiri era tojja kusobola kufunamu. Hybrid oba ensigo ennongoosemu ey'omulembe egenda n'okufukirira ate egenda ne fertilizer oba ebigimusa. Ate era tulina okubayamba ne ku nnimiro awo enkwata yaabyo. Tufiirwa ebitundu 40 ekyokulabirako nga kasooli nga ayonoonekedde mu nnimiro nga tumukutte bubi. Minisitule y'ebyobulimi egenda kuteekateeka amaterekero silos. Tugenda kukwatagana n'abo abeesobola. Bino tebijja kuba bya bwereere, tujja kubanga tukuwoze naye munange ojja kusasulira mu myaka 10. Ate interest oba amagoba era nago gajja kuba matono, 10 ku 100. Banka kati abantu abali mu byobulimi beewolako naye nga amagoba gozzaayo gali mu 19, 20. Omulimi aba takisobola. Naye wano tujja kuwa ne kye bayita grace period oba tujja kuwa obudde okweteekateeka wonoosasulira back oba wonootuddiza essente ezo. Lwaki twagala ozza essente? Twagala ozza essente n'omulala asobole ozifuna. Kino tulabye nga kikola. Kalangala ebinazi tulabye nga abantu beeyagala. Luli bagamba pulezidenti nti kati abatunda amafuta agattadooba balabye kuba tewali agagula. Abantu bafunye solar panels oba amaanyi ga njuba, amasannyalaze, naye ng'era twabagambanga nga basooka okuguguba. Naye kaakati kye tulabye Kalangala, minisitule y'ebyobulimi wano bw'atubuulira enteekateeka eno namutaayiika nti amazzi agafukirira ebirime n'agamagana. Kubanga ente okukuwa obulungi olina okugiwa ebintu 3. Olina okuba n'omuddo, olina okuba n'amazzi, olina okuba n'eddagala okugifuuyira. Awo bejja kuwa. Enteekateeka ya minisitule y'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi ejja kutuwa nga kati ensigo ey'ebyennyanja, kangiyita ensigo naye kubanga wano waliwo obuzibuzibu, fingerlings, obwennyanja obuto bwe tuyiwa mu ziddaamu zaffe nga tuli mu kulunda ebyennyanja, nabyo bijja kubanga bituweebwa. So kaakati bwe tunaakola enteekateeka eyo tujja kubanga tutegedde nti ku musimbi gwe tubadde tugabula mu kusaka zigenda kukendeera. Kino si kirooto, tukirabyeko nga kikolera ddala. Era pulezidenti ayongedde n'atubuulira ku butonde bw'ensi n'agamba nti Katonda, bwe tusoma ekyolubereberye Katonda ng'atonda ensi eno yateekateeka bulungi, naye abamu balowooza nti oba yali tategeera. Bwe yagamba nti ayawudde amazzi ku lukalu, kakati ffe ekyo olw'okubanga nga minisita bwe yagambye nti population oba abantu baffe mu Uganda wano bazaala nnyo ate ettaka teririna lasitiika, nti onoolaba nga gye tukoma okuzaala luli twali miliyoni 25, okutemya n'okuzibula tufuusaana, kakati tugenda mu 5 miliyoni 5, kubanga kati tutuuse kumpi 45. Naye ettaka lyo teririna lasitiika nti nno lineeyongerayo. Kati tutadde okunyigiriza okwo ku ttaka. Kaakati bwe tutagoberere Katonda kye yatondera ensi eno n'ayawula emisana n'ayawula ekiro, kyekiro abantu beebakeko bwe bati, naye kati abantu tebakyebaka. Ekyo nakyo kijja twafekitinga. N'ayawula entobazi n'azaawula, n'ayawula amazzi n'ayawula olukalu. Kati abantu balumbye olukalu, balumbye entobazi, balumbye ebisaalu, balumbye ebitoogo, batema. Ekyo nno kijja kutuleetera obuzibu. Balumbye ensozi, balimye waggulu mu nsozi, batemye emiti, twokezza amanda, ensozi zisigadde tekuliiko wadde omuddo oguzibiseeko, tuwokezza empiira, enkuba etonnye, amayinja galiringiseeyo gatuziise ng'ekyabadde Mbaale. Pulezidenti akubagizza nnyo abaafiiriddwa, naye nga kino kyakwennyamira kubanga twali badde tukyewala kubanga pulezidenti azze akyogerako naye abantu baffe baafiiridde mu mataba. Pulezidenti yatodde ng'era omuntu bw'akubagiza era okulaga nti anyoleddwa wamu nammwe n'awaayo ensimbi, naye Ssaabaminisita ali ku ground, ali ku ttiimu ye yagiragira mu bigambo eby'emmere. Minisitule w'ebyobulamu okulaba nti abantu tebalwala kolera kubanga ebintu byonna byetabula, kazambi yenna yeetabula, abantu bagenda kulwala. Minisita w'amazzi ali eyo okulaba nti amazzi agaali gabuze. Minisita w'enguudo okwerula enguudo ezaali zibikiddwa era n'okukola assessment oba okulaba bridges oba entindo ezaayonooneka. Tugenda kukolawo awanaayitibwa kubanga ebimu bijja kwetaagisa ensimbi, naye okuddukira nga bwe mukumanyi tuteekawo ekyo isobola otujja mu katyabaga ako mu kiseera ekimpi. So kyannaku nnyo nti tukyayogera ffe wano mu Uganda ku bantu okubikibwa ettaka, ku bantu okutwalibwa mukoka, ng'ate kijja tulaba. Luli nayogera ku kijja ne barora, kijja tulaba. Naye era pulezidenti ayogeddeko ku bannabyabufuzi olw'obululu abakwatibwa ensonyi okubuulira abantu baabwe ababalonda amazima nti wano muveewo embeera mbi. Tukwatibwa ensonyi okubabuulira olw'akalulu. Naye kakati abagenda okutulonda bwe banaaziikibwa ettaka, baani abanaatulonda? N'olwekyo tuleme kukwatibwa nsonyi okubuulira abantu ebituufu, tubabuulire embeera eyonoonese. Tulina okuva mu ntobazi, tulina okulekeraawo okutema emiti. Ebibiranga bwe bajjajjaffe bwe baabirabanga ne babiwa n'amannya maramagambo, nti nze ebigambo bimbuze, kino kimpitiriddeko, ekibira kinene, kino ekibira mwe bw'ogendayo todda. Kakati bw'otunula ebibira ebimu wano kungulu olabanga kateni, bw'oyingira eri munda ng'abantu baalimyeyo, ng'abantu batemyeyo, ffenna nga tutunuulira, nga tutunula. So bakulembeze bannange, pulezidenti atukubirizza nti tukole ekyo ekituufu. Politics si wa bigambo, si wa kulimbalimba. Politics wa kwogera mazima n'okutaasa abantu b'okulembera. Nzeeyingezezzaako okuwumbawumba olw'obudde. Simanyi oba waliwo kyendeseeyo kyewandyetaaze mbulire abantu.
Okoze bulungi, okoze. Alo, ng'abanalukoola bwe bakola, okoze bulungi. Eri Rakai wali ennyanja nawulira bagiyita kijja ne barora. Weeri kijja ekigambo kya Lunyoro kubanga Edda Kochi yali wamu na Bunyoro. Kijja ne barora. Ekizibu kyajja abantu balaba ne batafaayo naye ne kibaleetera ebizibu. Ate olugero lwaffe olw'omu Lukoola lwandibadde lutuyamba olugamba nti kijjomanyi kinyaga bitono. Naye kati kubanga lw'obujeemu kijjomanyi kinyagira ddala. So the lake in Rakai is called Chijanvarora. That a problem came when people were seeing it, but they did nothing. So Honorable Nankabro has translated well. I think let's end here. We shall, on the environment, we are going to give out a detailed plan next week, which will guide us after the cabinet meeting on Monday. I thank everybody and wish you good luck.
Thank you, Your Excellency.